universe, I'm predicting what exactly? Predicting that you see this sick ass gamer light back here that's ray tracing off of the ceiling of my bedroom, which is actually just a set of stairs. Pretty sick, right? Definitely adds a whole dimension to my videos. Hopefully it makes it look more visually appealing to everybody. What else am I predicting? I am predicting the February Nintendo Direct that is apparently set to happen as early as this week. Currently the 5th that I'm recording this, so it could be happening any point now. We've had a few people, you know, in the community who are pretty well known leakers and insiders sort of throw their hat in the ring and say, hey, a February Nintendo Direct is probably happening, more than likely. And Nintendo does have a record of having Nintendo Directs in February. 2019, it was a Pokemon Direct, and then 2020 was the Animal Crossing Direct. And then sprinkled in between here and there were just a lot of partner showcases and general Nintendo Directs, of course. Obviously, just like any other good Direct, I will be doing a prediction, but not just any prediction. I will be doing a Nintendo Direct bingo card, since this always works out very well for me. First item that we have on our bingo card is obviously going to be the thing that I'm the most confident in happening, and it's going to be themes, baby. For legal purposes, this is a joke. I don't actually believe we're going to be getting themes for the Switch 1 anymore. I think that themes obviously need the power of the Switch 2 to be performed, and I don't think the Switch 1 could possibly do themes. So it is, for that reason, my middle bingo spot, which is a free spot. That doesn't count. It doesn't matter. So next item, it's going to be a general direct, not an indie or a partner direct. I think this one will more than likely be the last general Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 1 specifically, which goes very well into my next item, which is that I think this is the wrong item. Anyways, I think it'll be longer than 42 minutes and 35 seconds. A lot of people have been thinking, myself included, during the lead up of recording this video, that maybe it will be not a general direct, and maybe it will be not longer than 42 minutes and 35 seconds. But I've already put the things down. I've already changed one thing. I'm gonna stick to it. I think it's still gonna be a general direct, and I think that it will be a longer general direct, and not so much just like, hey, here's the last few indies, or here's the last, third party wave that we're gonna be getting on the Nintendo Switch 1. Okay, well, here's a very bold prediction of mine, that the Direct is in February. Again, we have 6 years of evidence suggests that Nintendo will be doing a Nintendo Direct in February this year. Would be nice if it is the first Direct of the year. Hopefully they don't make us wait all the way until April, which is another thing that could potentially throw a wrench into the plans of maybe there being a February Direct. As many of you know, last year Nintendo didn't have a September Direct, which they usually always do. So who knows? Maybe they are just changing things up in anticipation for the Switch 2 already. Speaking of the Switch 2, I don't believe there will be any kind of Switch 2 mentions during the Direct, with an asterisk. Keep an eye on that asterisk, because I believe they will be mentioning the Switch 2.
I don't believe there will be any kind of Switch 2 mentions during the Direct.
Maybe at the beginning of the Direct, and they'll say, hey, all of these games will be backwards compatible on the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't think they'll talk about the potential of any of these games having improvements or anything, but I think there will be no Nintendo Switch 2 talk during the actual Direct. Next up, I have more of the Yakuza series, ? I think Yakuza Kiwami did pretty well on the Nintendo Switch, but I would love to see the rest of the Yakuza games pop up on the Nintendo Switch before inevitably we get them all on the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm sure that they will be attempting to, move over all of the Yakuza games by the end of the Switch 2's lifetime, but maybe they can get started now and start moving over more of the less demanding Yakuza games on the Switch 1. maybe there'll be an HD 2D game. That's I feel like this might be a safe prediction. HD 2D games are pretty popular, especially when it comes to RPGs, JRPGs, things like that. I don't think we'll see Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remade, but maybe we'll see, somebody else remaster or remake an older game and it has that aesthetic. New hardware. I know what you may be thinking.
Jeremy, you idiot. There's already new hardware on the way.
What I mean by this, obviously, I'm not saying that the Switch 3 is going to be announced in February. I mean, maybe they'll do like a bundle or one last special edition for the Switch OLED or the Switch Lite. Maybe it'll just push out, those few extra million units before the Switch 2 fully takes over everything and whatnot. Something Sims. I'm expecting something from The Sims. I think there was rumors, or I think EA up and they put a My Sims bundle on the EA app, and they were like, oh, that's not My Sims or My Sims Kingdom. That's not the bundle that we just got. So maybe they f***ed up on their end and they put out a bundle a little bit too early. But I do think that we will be hearing from The Sims, especially as they're celebrating their 25th anniversary right now. I don't think we'll get Sims 1 and Sims 2. I don't think any of the other consoles got Sims 1 and Sims 2. I think Nintendo Switch 2 will get Sims 2 and Sims 1, mainly because of that mouse mode. But yeah, as of right now, I think we'll probably just get another My Sims bundle, and maybe something else from The Sims. Silksong ? It's not happening. It's not real. But maybe it will happen here. That would be a pretty crazy end of the direct type of announcement. Although I do think they'll probably save end of the direct announcements for another item that I have here as a prediction. But yeah, maybe Silksong as one of the ending titles, or maybe it's something in the middle to jolt people awake after all the farming simulator games. One last third-party Miracle port. So I put Miracle in quotations because I'm not expecting that big of a miracle. I'm not expecting Red Dead 2 to pop up on the Switch 1, because honestly at this point I do think any developers that are sort of making these big ports are just going to be focusing entirely on the Switch 2 now. And so the Switch 1, I feel like, could still get third-party ports, albeit they won't be as, miraculous as we once thought, The Witcher 3 was. But in terms of third-party support that I would love to see, or third-party ports that I would love to see, Fallout. Anything from the Fallout series would be awesome. Anything from Splinter Cell. And anything from the Dishonored series, honestly. If we could get a collection of any of those game series, that would be great. I think that would be more than enough to sort of give people something to chew on before April rolls around. Speaking of farming simulator games, Farming Life Sim. I think that'll pop up during the Nintendo Direct. I think we'll see, hopefully, something from Story of Seasons. I would love another Story of Seasons game, even if it's just a remake from one of the older Story of Seasons games. Even if it's just a remake from one of the older Harvest Moon games, I still would love to see Animal Parade or Tree of Tranquility as a Story of Seasons branded game rather than Harvest Moon. But yeah, I do think a farming/life simulator game will pop up during the Nintendo Direct. MP4 trailer. Not a trailer for a gun, but a trailer for Metroid Prime 4. I think Metroid Prime 4 will get a brand new trailer during this Nintendo Direct. I think that it will probably just give us some more story details. Probably show off some more of the, landscapes that the game's gonna have. I don't think there will be anything like huge. Is there like a release date for Metroid Prime 4 yet? I don't know. If there isn't, I think they'll attach a release date to it this time, and that release date will more than likely be what a lot of people would consider the Nintendo Switch 2 launch date to be, because a lot of people are assuming Metroid Prime 4 just due to the fact that it's taking so long and the fact that it looks graphically ambitious. is probably going to be a launch title for the Nintendo Switch 2. So I think there will be a new Metroid Prime 4 trailer. I think it will have the release date, and I think it will probably be the last trailer for the Direct, or the first. They did end a Direct with the Metroid Prime 4 trailer not long ago, I'm pretty sure. So if it was the first trailer of the Direct, I think that would be cool too. I think there will be a new NSO update. Granted, we have seen a few games already pop up on Nintendo Switch Online pretty recently. I believe we got Ridge Racer, and I also think that we got a few SNES games. So in terms of an NSO update, I don't think they'll do systems just yet. I think systems, they'll wait until April for sure to actually be like, hey, here's new systems coming out as the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out. But I don't know, maybe they still have a few games up their sleeves that they want to sort of put out for NSO. I don't know if Pokemon will ever get onto NSO. If they do decide to announce Pokemon for NSO, like for the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, that would be a really cool thing for them to sort of drop right now and then talk about further during the Pokemon Direct that's more than likely happening this month as well. So my last cornerstone of my Direct right here is gonna be they didn't save that for the Switch 2 Direct ? I'm not super expecting to be hit with something like this, but it would be really nice if, you know, for some reason they announce something that, obviously I don't mean like, oh, they're announcing a Switch 2 game at the Nintendo Direct for the Nintendo Switch 1. I mean more so that they have a game coming to the Switch 1 that wasn't saved over for the Switch 2. So yeah, that may happen. They may, you know, be like, hey, here's Grand Theft Auto 6 for the Switch 1. You know, it'll probably blow up, but yeah, I do think they'll have a moment where they say, hey, here's something, and then I'll go, what? They didn't save that for the Switch 2 Direct? I'll make sure to say the exact same words. If I don't, it doesn't count. Metroid Prime games, ? Maybe they'll put on Prime 2 and Prime 3. This links over to another item I have on my prediction list, where essentially they're part of games that a lot of people believe have already been in development or are done in development. Nintendo's just sort of holding on to them for a little bit of time, and in some cases a lot of time. Now the reason why they're holding on to these games is plentiful. Most people think that they're probably just saving them for rainy days, where there's kind of like a lull in the Switch 1's release cycle. But quite frankly, there have been moments in the Switch 1's release cycle where there was pretty much nothing. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remakes will pop up in the same vein as the Metroid Prime remake / remaster. Tomodachi Life. We got the Miitopia, but we got that one. A lot of people went crazy with the character creator on that one, which really makes me wish that the regular Mii creator was just like that system. But yeah, I think Tomodachi Life is I want to say cult classic. A lot of people really enjoyed it, but I do think they'll probably save Tomodachi Life for the Switch 2, because if I remember correctly, didn't that one have like use for the microphone? If it doesn't, then for sure it's still going on Switch 1. But if it did, then I think they'll probably save it for the Switch 2, which I'm pretty sure also has a microphone, but we'll see. A GameCube port. It could be from Nintendo themselves. You know, I'm not expecting Double Dash Mario Kart or anything, but I'm also leaning towards more so like a third-party port over one of their GameCube games. Now, what that game could be, I don't know. I've never really had a lot of nostalgia for the GameCube. I wasn't a GameCube child, but I do know a lot of people really enjoy the GameCube, and I think if they did a GameCube port, that would be really cool, especially just so I could, you know, get a little bit more experience with the GameCube. Again, not being a GameCube person myself. DLC update. I think there will be an update for a game that is currently out, and it will get DLC. Very brave prediction, I know, but someone's gonna have to make these predictions, or else they won't come into fruition. You know what I mean? So I do think we'll get a DLC update for a game that's currently out. I don't know what game it would be. I don't think it would be a Nintendo game, because I feel like Nintendo at this point probably doesn't want to put any more effort into any of their older titles in terms of putting DLC on them. And I get it, you know, they still have 150 million users and potentially millions of users on like a certain game, and maybe they just want to get a little boost through DLC again. But I think at this point they're just focused primarily on the Switch 2's development and the games for that. So I think for DLC updates, maybe from a third party. I don't think it will be from Nintendo themselves. Xenoblade Chronicles X trailer. I think we'll get another trailer for XEX. Boom, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum. Boom, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum. If it's not going to be the Metroid Prime 4 trailer at the beginning or the end, this is also another trailer that they could easily slot into either portion of the Direct. I think if they were to do a trailer for it at the beginning, it would probably just be a story one, sort of just expanding upon the mythos of Xenoblade Chronicles X, because remember, it was a Wii U title and not a lot of people actually played it. I have a Wii U and I never got Xenoblade Chronicles X, even though I wanted to. So yeah, I do think that there will probably be like a exposition trailer, and then at the end of it there will probably be like, oh hey, if you played the original game, here's some new story content that you've never even seen before. You know, that type of thing. I don't know. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection 2? Question mark. Is this the place for them to announce the second collection of Metal Gear Solid games? I don't know. For that, I'm assuming Metal Gear Solid Master Collection 2 would be Peace Walker 4 and 5. Yeah, I'm assuming it's Peace Walker 4 and 5. And I want to say a Nintendo Direct is like a great spot to announce it, but at the same time, I don't know if Konami has like an event happening soon or if they would rather just tweet it out there. But I do think that the Master Collection 2 would consist of those games, and I think it would be awesome to see it if it happened at the Nintendo Direct. Kirby Planet Robobot HD. This is another one that has been, I don't want to say like pretty heavily rumored, but it is one that has been it's been making the rounds in terms of like potential games that we might be seeing soon. Kirby Planet Robobot HD. It's not a Kirby game that I've had the pleasure of playing back on my 3DS, but I have heard really good things about it. And honestly, I've been really vibing with the Kirby series, so I would love to see Kirby back on the Switch one more time before we eventually move over to the Switch 2. Here's my personal impossible wish. I would love, and I would
Blast.
if the Tekken games came over to the Switch. And I don't even need Tekken 7 or Tekken 8, you know? I'll take a Tekken collection of older Tekken games. Hell, I'll even take like a Tag Tournament collection. I'll take Tag Tournament 3. Well, Tag Tournament 3, they'd probably save for the Switch 2. But I'll take a Tag Tournament collection with Tag Tournament 1 and Tag Tournament 2. How many times can I say Tag Tournament?
3 times.
Yeah, I do wish. I wish in my heart of hearts that Tekken gets a collection of some sort, you know? It can't just be Capcom reselling Street Fighter all the time. You know, I'm very excited, by the way, for SNK versus Capcom and Power Stone to come out, but I want to see something from Tekken, and I just want to be able to play those old games in a very convenient manner. And I think, you know, at the tail end of the Switch's lifetime is perfect, because if I was Tekken, you know, if I was the Tekken, if I was John Tekken, and I realized that, hey, the Switch 2 is coming out and it's capable of running Tekken 8, but we don't have a fan base in the Nintendo community yet. Let's do a Tekken collection and let's put out all these old Tekken games on the Switch 1, so that way Nintendo fans can get accustomed to our series a little bit more. And then when we move over to Nintendo Switch 2, here's Tekken 8 and people will eat it up. I'll eat it up. You know what I mean?
I'll eat it up.
So yeah, John Tekken, if you're listening, please, please. Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. Here's some classic predictions for everybody, especially considering the fact that these have essentially been in the rumor mill for a really long time now. I'm pretty confident that these do exist. I don't think Nintendo would essentially leave two really, really, really cool games on the Wii U just to sort of die there and not put them onto the Switch. Wind Waker HD was the first Zelda game I ever finished, like, ever. And I was like, damn, this is cool, man. Like, this is my type of stuff. And then I played Breath of the Wild right after that, and I was like, oh, I thought Wind Waker HD was my but no, this is my now. But I still think Wind Waker HD can still be my you know? I played Ocarina of Time, and maybe it was because I was a stupid child and I was like 13 or 12 or whatever, but I never finished it because I'm stupid, because I didn't appreciate good games. And I think, why am I even talking about Ocarina of Time HD? I'm talking about Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. Let me get those on the Switch 1 right now, tail end of the system's life, and I'll play it, you know? I want to see what the real experience is like. Obviously, I played Wind Waker HD. I haven't played Twilight Princess HD. I want to know. This last one I was saving because I accidentally put in the same thing twice. So now I have to figure out what this is. Oh, yeah, I remember now. So my last item for the day is going to be Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War Remake. Another title that has been pretty frequent in the rumor mill, and an item that I would love to see, because the last Fire Emblem game I played was Three Houses. I didn't really get into Engage as much, but I would love to jump back into the Fire Emblem series, especially with one of the older titles, maybe with a few of the quality of life improvements that they've made. And you know what? Maybe I'll do like permadeath mode or whatever that they're usually known for. I recently watched a video that was like, hey, you should try permadeath modes in video games, because then it makes you like a better gamer. Is that even possible? Who knows? But yeah, I would love to see a Fire Emblem game at the tail end of the Switch's lifetime. And maybe that'll just open up, you know, more Fire Emblem for the Switch too. Well, there it is. That is my February 2025 Nintendo Direct bingo card. Will this be the bingo card where I finally get an actual bingo? Who knows? Probably not. I mean, if it's not, that's fine, because then I still have the April 2 Nintendo Direct to talk about it. Honestly, being able to get a bingo on the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct would be pretty poetic. I'll have a Nintendo Switch 2 April Direct bingo card out before April. Nintendo just officially announced that it would be out April 2nd, 6 a.m. So that will be an early stream, and the video will be out, I don't know, sometime soon. And then the one other thing I have in the works is a frame by frame, not literally, but maybe literally, analysis of the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement trailer. I had a lot of thoughts when I first watched that trailer, and I would love to sort of just go over the madness that I have. That's pretty much all the plans that I have for right now. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully my Nintendo Direct bingo card is getting your juices flowing and it's got you thinking about what could potentially be happening this February for that Nintendo Direct. All right, well, I'll be seeing you, Jer Bears. Bye-bye.